Okay. Stretch on the arm. Stretch on the other side. And then we'll place and do the stretch on the neck a little bit. The side. Okay, that's it. Hopefully that should get us loosened up a little bit and we'll get into it. Yeah? So firstly, welcome all. For those who haven't been, tonight's session is really usually a 45 minutes meditation session, followed by a little bit of a Dharma talk, and that should finish the night from an agenda perspective. For those who may not been here before, the fire exits are right at the back and right at the front. And the toilets, respectively, are the male on that side and the female on that side, should you need to, from that point of view. And as you said, in terms of the session, it's totally free, of course. But should you feel like making a donation at the end of the session, feel free to do so as well from that perspective. But it's totally voluntary, of course. With that in mind, I guess we'll pay respect to the teaching monk. When he comes on, we'll bow 3 times to the teaching monk, and at the same time we'll do a bow 3 times to pay homage to the Lord Buddha as well. Clearly I've started too early then. Okay. Okay. I think the rule is here, if you're able to wear a mask, it would be good just to protect everyone that's around. Yes, okay. Yeah, thank you. Okay, we'll pay homage to the Lord Buddha first by bowing 3 times. Bow. 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 And we'll pay respect to the teaching monk for tonight by bowing 3 times. Bow. 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 Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Thursday Buddhist study class. Well, I've seen a few new faces. So maybe before we're gonna start our session, so for those of you who are regular and already know how to meditate, maybe it could be a good time for the review and allow me to give a proper introduction how do we meditate here in our temple, just to make sure that I don't thinking too much alone. Is there anyone new? Could you raise your hand, please? First time here or meditate? 3, all right. Then I am not thinking too much alone. So, but don't worry. Meditation is simple and easy. That everyone can do. And also, if you have any questions or anything in regard of meditation practice, we can also answer after our session. Okay? So, allow me to give you a proper introduction first before we start. Just one moment. This should do. Okay. I'm not sure if they introduced me yet, but allow me to introduce myself. So next time you see me, don't be a stranger and say hi. Okay. My name is Physique Chitta Sutto. This is my 19 years as a Buddhist monk, Theravada Buddhist monk. And in detail about the Buddhist school, maybe can be addressed at another time. However, if you feel my name is difficult to remember, you just call me Luang Pi Thom. Okay, Luang Pi is a term used in address the monk in Thailand. It usually mean in English venerable. I don't have any doctor degree, therefore you don't have to call me Venerable Dr. Physique. I wish though. But you can just call me Venerable Thom. Okay? That will be fine. Or Luang Pi Thom. Either way, that's how you can address me. And let's go on to our introduction. What I am presenting to you are just only introduction. For the details and everything in the learning in further in focus and in much detail meditation, maybe at another course. Thus, this is just the class, therefore, let's go with the proper introduction first. Here, what we practice in here, in our temple, is called the middle way meditation, also known as Dhammakaya meditation. The Dhammakaya meditation, simply as it put, emphasize on 2 things, not much, and they are relaxation. Yes, if you are going to meditate, simply make sure yourself be relaxed. Don't try too hard. Don't put too much effort, because if you're trying too hard, it would not be the way that meditation works. So relaxation comes first. Just similarly to when you are reading the book. If you're reading the novel that you like, you enjoy and you forget about the time. But when you study, when you go to class, you have to study the book for the exam. It takes quite a while to remember, isn't it? Because you don't enjoy it. You just try to cram everything into your head so you can go take the exam and pass. Same thing, if you are enjoy, you don't really trying too hard, don't put too much effort. Eventually, all the things will fall into place. This is how meditation works. So relaxation comes first. But it must be in the balance with mindfulness. If you relax too much, you could fall asleep. If you try too hard, you will be struggle looking at the watch when it's gonna be over. When is Venerable gonna say, you can open your eyes. Something like that, right? So make it simple and easy. These 2 must be in the balance. And how do you know if it's in the balance? You would feel, for example, if you are sitting on a chair and you feel all right, you don't want to move, just like that. But if you still move your back, move your legs, scratch your body, it's not balanced. because the body telling you, hey, need to adjust. Something like that. Okay? So that's make sure you are in the balance. But what do you do if you're losing the balance? In this case, you must get this in the between the line. If you look at the equation here, yes, a little bit of symmetric here. If you're having too much mindfulness, you would feel uncomfortable. If you are relaxing too much, you could fall asleep or having wandering thought. For those who are relaxed too much, like for example, they don't have anything to do, or when they are just sit, they are not used to focus, their mind would be wandering. This is something like, for example, you're thinking of your parents, you're thinking of your friends, and all the things that you have planned ahead in the future. This will be follow into place and make you unable to focus. Therefore, make sure it's in the balance, not to overlap each other. And how do you feel when you do it correctly? Your body, you won't feel it. You just feel like you enjoy to be in this place, and you forget about everything. There will be some eventually like that, but it won't be for that long, but even for just a moment. This is the beginning that telling you the sign, and you just have to repeat the same step how you get there. And once you get that, all you have to do is maintain your balance. Adjust if it is losing the balance. And so, according to what our masters say, no matter the method we use to meditate, whichever way we practice, the principle is being comfortable and relaxed must go together by our Luang Po or Abbot Dhammakaya. Okay? And once you find the balance, sometimes your mind could lose the focus. Thus, in the middle way meditation, have two methods to practice, and they are: one is called visualization. This is something that can help you maintain your focus. It's kind of like a ship that sails in the ocean. If the ship doesn't have an anchor to drop into the ocean to make the ship stay in the ocean without moving to other places, same thing. If the mind doesn't have an anchor, it would be wandering outside the body as well. So visualization is just like an anchor for the mind. And when you visualize, make sure it should be something simple under this categorized, which is must not create thought or emotion. Something simple like this: the sun, a moon, a star, or the crystal ball, something simple. Visualize them inside your body. The best place would be around your abdomen, where you should start, because it's considered as the most well-balanced, sometimes known as center of the body, in scientific term known as center of gravity. However, talking about that would be quite difficult, and you try to put effort to put your mind at the center or where you should focus. Thus, just forget about where it is, because if you relax, eventually the mind will eventually fall into places by itself. No need to focus or trying too hard on this visualization. Kind of like this. When I mention, can you imagine a tree? Just nod your head if you can. See? When you said about the tree, everyone have their own image of the tree. I would not go ask what color, how tall, what size of the tree you have in your mind. But if it's a tree, everyone know it is a tree look like. That's how you should imagine. But if you close your eyes, you feel you try too hard, try to use your eye, or try to imagine making your mind, squeezing your brain out in order to imagine the tree. There you go. The tree must be this size, this color, and it must be very, very large. When you imagine into detail like that, well, everyone, stress come, and eventually you won't be able to relax. So, the first image come into your mind, that's the picture you should use. And once you use it, you don't have to maintain, try to make it stay. If it's gone, start it over. That's how it is. But if you try to maintain it, stress come again. So that would not be the way. Of course, this is not the way. All right? So therefore, when you are doing this, make sure it relax. This is the first method. You also have another one as an alternative. It's not required. You can use it too. which is mantra. The mantra itself in the middle way meditation, it is more like repeating words. When I guide the meditation in here, according to my school or my temple, we use this mantra pronounced as Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang. Can you repeat after me? Okay, everyone. Samma Arahang. Yes. One more time, just in case you forget. Samma Arahang. Very good. So when you repeat this over and over until there are no more thoughts, this is to help you calm your mind. This method apply whenever the thought arise. If you have a lot of thoughts coming in, whether they are positive or negative, Samma Arahang come into your mind first. You don't have to say it out loud. Just repeat Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang. Many people find it useful because they have nothing to lose. The only way they can do is when they have thoughts, Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang. But, of course, this is unfamiliar language to you, of course. This is the Pali language, an old ancient scripture used in the time of the Buddha. It means loosely translated as the correct path or the correct way to be away from impurity or negativity of the mind. Okay? And that's, if you cannot remember, you can just use your own mantra as an option. My advice would be 2 words maximum. But if you feel you want longer, no problem. The commonly and generally people using it are like breathe in, breathe out, or peace in, peace out. When I went to Philippines to teach meditation to the kids, they use Jesus. Some Islam, they use Allah. However you feel, but just make sure you are relaxed. Okay? So that's meditation is universal. Anyone can practice, disregard of what they believe, what gender, or what nationality, what status they are. As long as they are alive and willing to meditate, they have a chance. Okay? Good? And one more thing, how do you know if you do it correctly? Simply put, according to my master, receiving happiness every time we meditate, even just for a moment, a split second also count. This confirmation that we are practicing correctly. And so, everyone, that's how we meditate. At the very least, you enjoy, you feel that you are here is good, make you feel refreshed. That's count as happiness that you receive. And so, are you ready for the meditation, everyone? All right. You can move, you can adjust, but make sure when you adjust and move, try not to make it disturb your friend. We meditate together as a group, so that's everything could also affect other. But if we find peace, it also affect other as a whole. But if we make the sound, it could affect other as a whole. But all in all, if your mind are relaxed, you will not be paying too much attention to what's around you because you are enjoy of where you are. All right? So if you are ready, let's do our meditation. As there are new people, normally it is said, and it's practiced from my experience, if they are new to meditation, it is better and easier for the new practitioner to use music to help them calm. But for those that practice for a long time, music may not be needed anymore. But therefore, since we have both new and regular, just go in the between together. I will use the ambient sound. Okay, if you don't know where to look, seeing the Buddha, seeing the monk is making you feel too much stress. Look at the nature scene on the screen. Can help you feel calm. Okay, but all in all, let's begin. All right. Let it go around here. Okay, good. Now let's begin our meditation. Let's close our eyes. Relax the mind and body. And adjusting ourselves, sitting in a relaxed and comfortable position without any tension on your body. And relax, scanning your whole body truly. Check and see if there any tension that may arise. So you may adjust and finding yourself comfortable for our inner peace time. Let's begin to relax from the top of our head. Relax down to the forehead. Relax the eyebrows. Loosen your eyelids. No need to look or using your eyes as if you try to see something inside. And making your face feeling soft and your head feeling light. Continue all the way down to your neck and shoulder. Adjusting your back, your body properly, free from all the tension that may arise, and relax your abdomen to allow yourself breathing more easily. Continue down further, making your legs, your knees, and your feet feeling most comfortable for your sitting position. Spending these few moments to adjust yourself. It is very important to find the right balance on your body, so you can feel comfortable and relaxed throughout the rest of your inner peace time. When you are done adjusting yourself, continue on to adjust your mind. Empty your mind, put everything behind in this moment. Now is the time for yourself, for your mind, for the meditation. Let's begin to adjust the mind by imagine that you are alone by yourself. In a place with nature, with an open space, make you feel free, calm, and relaxed, feeling as if you are the only one in this world. Then take a deep breath. Slowly breathing it out to calm the mind and finding yourself, your mind coming back to your body while you breathe in. Clear your thoughts. Leave everything outside the mind while you breathing out. And slowly rest the mind inside without forcing or pushing the mind to rest and be still. The mind itself enjoy its freedom. The more you push, the more you try to control the mind, it would be struggling. Instead, use your feeling that inside yourself, around your abdomen, or at any point that you like to begin to focus, to rest the mind, is where the mind resting. So rest our mind gently, like a feather floating down, and softly touch the surface of water, very light, and begin to feel our mind resting inside. And maintain the mind within ourselves by lightly imagine the sun shine at the place where you rest your mind. Observe the sun through your feeling. Feeling that the sun is where you rest the mind. Should the sun begin to fade away, we can always conjure it back to let our mind stay on the course to our inner peace. Making yourself be just like an observer. No matter what's the change, what you experience, remain calm and observe. Should your thought arise, Let it be. Let it go without trying to react. The more you try to push your mind, it would fight back. So let the thought flow in. Eventually, when the mind slows down, it will fall into stillness itself. Or if you like, you could recite your mantra to calm the mind, finding yourself inner peace. You may use your own mantra or the following mantra. Recite them in your mind. And the mantra is Samma Arahang Samma Arahang Samma Arahang. Continue the mantra until the mind has calmed down, or the mantra slowly fades away by itself. You may choose to do both. Visualize the sun and recite the mantra, or do either one according to how you feel or what you like. Or you can just sit back, remain calm, and be with the present. Maintain in this course of inner peace together until the appropriate time. Take a deep breath. Slowly breathing it out. Feeling your awareness is present inside. And maintain your relaxation. Allow our mind to rest. Enjoy its break and vacation. So the mind can become refreshed, recharged. Our mind, once finding stillness or relaxation with mindfulness in the balance, joy and inner peace would slowly arise. So maintain these throughout your meditation. When the mind comes to a standstill, it would find its own way to love openly. Wishing everything and everyone to be happy, free from all kinds of suffering, sharing these feelings that arise to the people and all the beings in this world. Letting our mind expand wide and far like a ripple of water. Your mind and yourself as its center, and the whole world is so small, less than your mind. When you expand, sharing these feelings with everyone that you love, begin with yourself, family, friends, your neighbor, your neighborhood, your town, your country, eventually the whole world, wishing everyone to be free and happy. Let's spend a few more moments, spread our loving kindness through our feelings until the appropriate time. Stay still. Maintain the balance of mindfulness and relaxation inside your body. And continue on after the meditation, so you can be with inner peace everywhere you go. So rest the mind inside your body from this moment on as long as you can. And as the tradition, the monk would give the blessing, telling the end of the meditation section. So you can open your eye after.สัพพพุทธานุภาเวนะสัพพธัมมานุภาเวนะสัพพสังฆานุภาเวนะสัทธาโสธีภวันตุเต You can now slowly open your eyes. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you enjoy your inner peace time. Would anyone need to have some break for the bathroom or stretching? Yes, well, let's take a few moments, about 5-minute break, and we can resume our session. Okay. Welcome back. Hope you have a good break. Before we start, allow me to check your meditation experience so I can address the further tip for your practice when you go back. So please allow me to ask your question by raising your hands, whether you are yes or no. Okay? Does anyone feeling relaxed at some point in this session, even though it's short or long meditation? Could you raise your hand, please? Okay. Does anyone feeling like time fly by fast today? We meditate 45 minutes. Okay. Anyone feel struggle, feeling like when it's gonna be over, when it's gonna be over? Little bit? Okay. The symptom that is like that, we will address to that. Okay. Anyone experience joy, happiness, or brightness inside? Anyone feeling that? Very good. The key to maintain that is how you get to there, not the result. Please mark this or note this. When you are feeling joy or happiness or even relaxed, how you get to there from the beginning and to that reaching that state. Try to recall and check when you go back. That is how you progress. And repeat it. If you get the same result, that's the way for you. However, to some of us, we are not used to long meditation. So don't worry if you feel struggle, feeling, this is it for me. Do not force yourself. Just open your eye and stop. Once you feel settled down, no more struggle feeling, close your eye gently and resume or begins again. That's how you do. I used to be struggle like that. Whenever there is the first Sunday in our temple, the big meditation gathering, what would happen is, I would struggle. It's very hot, a lot of people, very crowd, noisy. I could not meditate. And forcing, and worse is we have to sit on the floor. We don't have chair like that. We don't have that luxury in the past. And we don't even have cushion if you don't bring yourself one. Imagine. And in Thailand, it's very, very hot. Imagine 40 degrees, somewhere 37 to 40 degrees meditate. And mass of people meditate together. It's like that. So whenever start meditate, close your eyes. And you have to dress like this. As a Buddhist monk uniform. It's very hot, humid, sticky too. Imagine when you go to the beach, it's very like sweat like that. And you have to wear this on top. Yeah. And you sit on the floor with like 1,000 people like that. With sounds, no nature sound like this. It's not easy. So sometimes when I struggle and it's become my habit. But recently when I learned from my teaching monk, if you struggle like that, it's gonna be your bad habit. So if you feel struggle, don't force yourself. If it's forced, you will have the habit. Whenever you challenge or fighting this thing, you're gonna force yourself. That is not how you do for meditation. Instead, if it doesn't work, try another approach. Stop by, open your eyes. Similarly, when you play a game, when you don't like this game, you just press the reset button. Start over. Like that. That's how meditation should approach. So remember, never struggle. If it becomes your habit, no matter how much you try, putting effort to practice, you will not achieve it because it doesn't have relaxation along the way. Okay? So hopefully this is the tip. And today, as the session is every Thursday, we have what is called Buddhist study. But since last time we also learning a little bit Buddhist already, so maybe not to go too much. Thus I prepare something which is gonna be more quite easily. Last session that I have with you guys will be more like movie, maybe not into you guys. Let's try today with this series. This time, it is something in a concept that taught in Buddhism. But it is something that not make you believe, but in fact it is something that generally happen in our daily life. Every day we must face this. Some soon or later as well. So it is something more like the truth that doesn't change over time. It is something that you can, I will say, grab it within your feeling. But if you feel it's garbage, rubbish, you can just throw it away. All right. So that's today wisdom quote from the series. In the past, about 4 or 5 years ago, there was a series in India of Bollywood. Have you ever heard Bollywood before? Bollywood, not Hollywood, Bollywood. Yes, it's a movie that the India people playing, and it's quite interesting because it's also available on YouTube. You can check it out, about 45 or 50 episodes. But I don't have that patience to watch it all, so just grab the picture and grab it from internet to share with you guys what it does say in this series that bring the light to the people's mind, that can encourage and inspire them to live on with their life. So let's take a look. All right? Are you following with me? Good? All right. The first one, the main concept part of it is, come on. Okay. No matter what you sow, that is what you will reap. Yes, what you do, it would come to you, or what goes around, come around. If you imagine as a picture itself, it's kind of like when you have a tennis ball or basketball. You throw it to the wall, it will bounce back to you. The harder you try to throw the ball, it will come back to you. That's how it is. This is something that happened in our life as well. So if you do good deed, it will come back. But the way that you saw, some come fast, some come slow. We could not tell, but at the very least, we know I can expect it will come. Okay? So now, when you understand this part, with your practice of meditation, it will help you maintain your conscience. So before you're gonna commit or do something, think very hard. Maintain only positive attitude to your mind, so you can be happy with your life. For what goes around, come around. That's number one. Number two. Come on. All happenings in life, whether they bring pleasure or pain, they are not permanent. They come one at a time. Some stay long, some stay short, but they take turns. If you suffer at this time, eventually it will go. You must be patient. Wait for the time to come. That's how it goes. They're not permanent. But when we struggle, it feels like permanent. But everything in this world, nothing is permanent. Even our life as well. Okay? Number three. We will be as our mind dictates. We can choose to be happy. We can choose to be suffer. That's how our mind can dictate us. So if you feel struggle in meditation, rather than just, venerable, I cannot struggle, right? So instead, just open your eyes. Better. When you feel better, you can choose to be happy. When you feel ready, come back and resume your meditation like that. We can choose to be as our mind dictate ourselves. In Buddha's term, they put this as, translated as, mind foreruns everything. What we think, we become. That's the words from the Buddha. Okay? Number four. Hatred cannot extinguish hatred. Only love can. When you feel anger or malice towards something or someone, if you think that's gonna solve, it only brings trouble. War cannot be stopped with war. But if you feel love and kindness, it will help. At the very least, if our body got destroyed, our mind will at least be at peace and we won't be suffer. There is a story that I like to share in the time of the Buddha story itself from this story. His brother-in-law, his name is Devadatta. I think I mentioned this to some of the classes in here for those who are regular. they probably know, but those who are not can consider that as a new, and those who are regular consider that as a review. His brother-in-law is named Devadatta. They were in the same royal family, but since they were born about 7 ages, they met each other for the first time, but they begin to competitive against each other. But Siddhartha, or the former name of the Buddha, he never thought that way. The argument and the conflict begin to arise when they turn 7. But as the time goes, Siddhartha himself just enjoy his life, finding peace, but his brother-in-law Devadatta is not. Whenever they see each other, he intended to overcome and defeat Siddhartha. And as Siddhartha became the Buddha, he ordained under the school of Siddhartha too, or the Buddha. And as they grow, he began to have desire. He want to rule the religion and take over and become the next Buddha himself. So that's in order to get rid of Buddha. If he cannot die by natural cause, we must make it happen. So assassinating begin to attempt. So Devadatta try to hide. But to do that, because the Buddha has many kings and follow disciple backup, many politics people come, so he quite well known and loved by all. So to do something as big like this, he must get some support from the king. So Devadatta addressed a scheme. He befriended with the new prince, and when the prince take over the throne as a new king, he has power because he is the consultant to the new king. So that's, he said that the Buddha is a former consultant of your father, the previous king. If he's still alive, he might come back to dethrone you. So be careful. So the king, let's plan the way to assassinate the Buddha. Imagine this. Never thought of hurting anyone, but someone tried to assassinate him. And so, attempt so many times. By the end of his life, he regret what he has done, and he know what is to come to his life after he die. But of course, he never give up when realized that he has made a wrong mistake. In the end, he tried to go meet the Buddha, but the Buddha know that he would never reach because he had done so many evil karma in his life. But is try to harm someone who never have bad intention toward him. So the Buddha mentioned that he would never reach me. But Devadatta never give up. He know that what he has done is very wrong. But at least he want to ask forgiveness from the Buddha. So in the end, at the end of his life, he said this with his good intention, no more malice intention. He said to the Buddha, even though he never reached or meet the Buddha, he only said, I would like to ask for your forgiveness. May you accept my chin as the token of gratitude. When you are going to ask someone forgiveness, you bring flowers or something to kind of like show you a present, But he himself was, he could not move his body, and he was very ill, and he's gonna die in any minute. So the last moment in his life, he don't have anything to give, but his chin. That's what part of his body as a whole. So he said, please accept my chin as a token of forgiveness. And the Buddha, with his generosity and his mind and kindness, said, I accept. And that's, he realized that the Buddha accept. He feel at peace and closed his eye and died peacefully. But of course, karma, what come around, it will deliver. But at the very least, when he feel love and kindness, he had no more hatred. Thus it end his suffering for the time being. So, it is something that need to take a note. Hatred cannot extinguish hatred. Only love can. Okay? That's one of the story. Number 5, this address at the time of his final moment of the Buddha. Death is like a customer. It can visit us anytime without consent. In other words, we can die at any moment, but when we die, we don't know. Thus, always be mindful. Be careful what you do. That is one of the story. We have time, right? About 10 minutes. So let's go with another story. This is the true story that mentioned in the scripture. But hey, just make sure I don't teach Buddhism, okay? Just tell you the story. Good? All right, okay. So what happened in here was that there was this one girl. She is the daughter of I'm not sure what they call in English, but but let's say her father is a tailor. He, still making cloth, a tailor. No, am I pronounced correctly? Okay, a tailor. So she helped her father doing cloth. And as one day, when the Buddha visited her town, in the past, the Buddha traveled. He don't stay in one place. He go travel because his knowledge can help benefit many people. So he walk and travel far and wide on track. So when he visit the town, people would come to listen to his talk. Like a TED talk, but it's more of serene. They come just like you guys, meditate first and then listen to the Dhamma talk of the Buddha. So when they have that, what happened is the Buddha taught one of these texts that come like a customer. It's something like this, but not exactly the word like this. Okay, but said that is like a time bomb. It can be exploded at any moment. We don't know when it's going to be exploded. So always be mindful. So when this girl listened to that, she feel it's very important. But she was 7 years old, So she keep practicing be mindfulness. What recall herself that she can die at any moment. She always still practice mindfulness. And then as time goes, I'm not sure for how long, but many years, from the child, she turned older and become young woman. And then as the Buddha came back to her town again, she heard the news and she wanted to go listen. However, at the time, the Buddha in his vision, every morning, that is his duty, he would check in his vision that who would be the one would be benefit from his teaching. Then he would go to that person. And he found that this girl appeared in his vision. Then on the time that he is going to teach, it just happened that this girl, she not finished her job yet. So the Buddha, when the time to teach, he just sits silent. So the people know that there is something. The Buddha is waiting for someone. So instead of they leaving, they just sit, meditate with him, waiting as well. With respect, they want to learn from the Buddha. So as the time goes, 1 hour passed, 2 hours passed, until finally the girl finished her task and she came. Then the Buddha taught the same thing that he taught to her. But before he taught that, when she arrived, he asked her personally. Something like a riddle, only him and her know, but nobody else doesn't understand. Something like this, but I haven't taught this for a while, so let me say it's quite need some refreshment. So give me a few minutes. All right, let's go. We have something more to go. So let's just go like this. He asked her, "Did you know?" Like this. Then she said, "No." "You don't know?" "No." "You really don't know?" "Yes." "Where will you go?" "No, I don't know." That's it. Everybody was like, is she trying to play word with Buddha? But they are very wise and they practice the same knowledge. So when she said something like that, the Buddha teach everything. Then she realized and she attained the inner peace, or the first level of enlightenment. After the Buddha taught everything, she feel happy. She learned something from the Buddha. And then after she left, just a few moments after she get out from the temple where the Buddha resides. On her way back to her home, accidentally, she was murdered and died right away. Just like that. Everyone was so sad, but before that come, and when she left, they were like, what did you do? What are you talking about? We don't understand. So the Buddha said something like this. I may not be accurate, okay, but at least we get the story go. I asked her, did you know that you have to die? She said, yes, I know. Did you know when you're going to die? No. Do you know where you're going to go? No, I don't. That's the question he asked. So when she realized, she answered, because she practiced mindfulness, she know that death's going to come at any time. So she realized, so when she died, she go happy, because she maintained her mindfulness practice, not to be careless with her life. That's number 5. Number 6. Okay. Strength is in our mind, not our physique. The one with a still mind will always win. As you can see in here, it may be compared to any story that you may find. Those who be more still, more calm and composed, they will be able to resolve and find solution. Same thing. We are not perfect, but if we train our mind to be still, we can find solution to make ourselves sailing and passing what's come in our life. Number 7. Be mindful in every moment of our life, just like the last moment of the Buddha. He asked this, does anyone have questions of what I had been taught 45 years? No one answered. I like to add this for your food for thought, even though it may not be talked too much in public. That before the Buddha, and now he is dead, about 3 months, there were people asking him that, Buddha, it is a time for you to enter nirvana. Now all your religion is firm and strong. You don't have anything to be regret behind. You can now enter nirvana. And the Buddha accepted his invitation. And so he said, from this moment on, 3 months, I will enter nirvana. In Buddhist term, it means I will die. Okay? So, when he asked at this moment, does anyone has question? If someone asks, it shows that the religion is not strong yet. Someone need to learn, need some guidance. So he may stay. But no one asked though, sadly. So we only learn from the text now. We don't have a chance to meet the Buddha. That's a little that he had given. That's a condition. But he asked so many times, but still no one invite him. And that's okay, very well. Then he mentioned, be mindful in every moment of life, so that way you won't make mistake. If you put into direct translation, I am not sure because I'm not learning, but I read from the book that Venerable Nicholas he's translated as strive on living with awareness. That's the direct translation from the Pali term that the Buddha meant at the end of his life. Okay, number 8. Do not believe everything that has been written. Be skeptical and be a lamp to yourself. This is come from one of the teachings is called Kalama Sutra. You can check it out on Google if you like. Kalama Sutra, not Kama Sutra. Kalama Sutra. Okay, what is meant is that do not believe in everything you see or heard. You must prove it yourself. Just like the Buddha's teaching. Do not believe at first. Test it out and find it out yourself. So that's everything could be proved wrong if you don't prove it. So that's do not believe in everything. Okay? Number 9. The cause of suffering is not letting go of what one is attached to. We got about 3 more minutes, so here one last story. There was one lady who loved her son very much. He's a firstborn child, but a few months after he was born, he passed away in her arms due to his illness. Imagine the mother losing her firstborn child. To make it more drama in her story, she came from the different background in her husband, but she helped out the family in her husband's family to be prosper and rich again. So everyone marry her with the son in the family. But when they marry, they kind of look down on her because they came from different status in the society, but they found the same caste, but different status. But they kind of look down. So she feel lonely. Whenever she marry, she just only find happiness with her son. But when he died in her arms, unable to forget, unable to let go, she gone mad. To the point that she asked every single one in the house, in the neighbor, please bring my son back, I will pay you everything. Go ask every door. Then one guy told her, oh, I cannot help you. Maybe you go ask the Buddha. He can give you some direction. Without delay, she rushed to the temple where the Buddha resides and asked, just like in here, please, save my son, bring him back to life. The Buddha don't tell her, oh, impossible, I cannot help you. No, he won't tell just like everyone did. He just said, I will help you under one condition. Bring me the mustard seed. Oh, that's simple. Just one is fine. But it must be from the household that has no one die. Yes, no problem. She just hold her son in her arms. She run in every house, knock on every door. Do you have a mustard seed in your home? Back in that day, the mustard seed is everywhere. Yes, can I have just one? Oh, sure, why not, ladies? But let me ask you first. Do you have anyone dies in your house? Of course. Oh, that's all right. Don't worry, I don't need it anymore. Then she go to the next door. Imagine how many doors each house that she go. She asked the same thing and everyone said, no, my house has someone die, my aunt, my uncle. And as it goes, she begin to realize the truth by herself without anyone telling her, oh, everyone must die. If my son cannot bring back. Her attachment to the loss of her son begin to fade away, until she realized she stopped her quest and returned to the Buddha. And so the Buddha asked her calmly, peacefully manner. He asked, so did you find me the mustard seed? No, master, I cannot. Every house that I've been through, everyone died in the house. Same thing, likewise, everyone must part sooner or later. It is the source of suffering if you attach to those. Realize this. She has realized the eye of truth, become enlightened just like the Buddha, and request her husband to ordain as one of the Buddhist monks in his religion. That the story goes. And last one for today. Every morning when we wake up, we should be aware of what we are doing. In the Buddhist practice, monk especially, we have to recite in the evening. Have you realized asking yourself what you've been doing? So whenever your friend asks, you won't feel ashamed of yourself. In other words, we must realize all the time what we are doing. So that way, we will live our life with some goal. Something, as a Buddhist monk, our aim is to, at the very least, find inner peace, just like the story that's been true. But if we don't train or remind ourselves, we will lose our track. That's always asking yourself whenever you wake up what you are doing. So today, I am going to try my best to realize my goal, practice meditation, do more good deeds, something like that. Without realizing or making yourself be aware of the goal in your life, in the end, you will lose yourself as we always try to make a living. When we try to make a living, we forget why we make a living. We just want to get money, get paid the bill, enjoy our food, that's it. But if we realize we make money in order to make a living, and why we live, to make ourselves be happy. So if we find happiness, what next? On and on. If you find it yourself the goal of your life, you will be living your life with more mindfulness and more fruitful. Thank you everyone for coming for learning today. Before we end today, does anyone has question? Well, let's see. There's no one here anymore. So since there's no one in the session in Zoom, I will end our session for today. Thank you very much. Go ahead. Now the mic is yours. Oh, I forgot. For those of you who are interested to follow me and learn from my video record, I also have my YouTube channel called The Great Teaching Monk. There are many people who are watching the video. If you're interested, you check it out on YouTube channel. Same thing on Facebook, okay? And if you are quite a techie members, you like to use Zoom for learning. On this Saturday, we also broadcast on Zoom. And our guest teaching monk is Venerable Sander. So he is one of the teaching monk and also the direct student of Venerable Nicholas. So you can learn from him the knowledge as well in Zoom if you're interested. But if you don't worry. Come back on Tuesday and Thursday every week. See you again next time, everyone. Thank you.